Okay, I have made this video several times and I'm really over it. So let's get straight to the point. My thing is, when it comes to balance should have better blades. It should be the most balancedly unbalanced school ever. It should have better utilities, and it should have more damage. Because why do balance only have 2 blades, and those blades aren't even balance specific? Each school has their specific blades. Yes, I understand balance is supposed to cater to people, but it's all it does. It's like balance caters to everybody else but itself. So let's get on blades. You have plus 20 blade storm, plus 25 balance blade. Why not just make those universal blades? Call this universal blade. Bump up, get another balance blade that's plus 30. The dragon blade should be the standard balance blade, and this blade storm should be the universal blade as well. Keep the name Blade Storm, and have plus 25 universal blade, so that way I can blade each school 2 times with a blade storm, and with a blade, a balance blade. So because when you start to add, especially when you add enchants, even without enchants, other schools always sit above balance when it comes to blades. Literally, take this into consideration. You got enchants, right? No, without enchants. Let's scratch that. Regular blades. One more thing. I mean, yes, you can say that these schools are balanced for balance, but they're not balance specific. Anybody can train that. Literally anybody. Even if they couldn't, we can put those on other people. So let's say you got a fire, right? Boom. They got their plus 35 blade. School specific. Mind you, it's enchanted. So they got a school specific blade plus 35. Then it's enchanted 40. That's plus 45. So 2 blades. Boom. You also have the elemental blades plus 35 unenchanted. Boom. Plus 35 enchanted. So it's plus 45. Boom. 4 blades. Then you add on the balance blade, and you add on the blade storm, both unenchanted. Then you add the enchanted versions on. So right now I'm sitting at 6. If I enchant those balance blades, that's 7, 8. 8 blades. 8 blades? Not even including the side deck blades, the little sidebar blades. Not including the TC blades. Not including the blades you get from wands, pets, gears, amulets, etc. You're sitting anywhere from 8 to 18 fucking blades. 20. Hell. The fuck? And balance doesn't even come close to that, which is also really fucked up. So why not just give balance more blades, better blades? Give balance 2 blades that are specific for balance. Because why not? And then give balance, and then keep the universal blades. Because I count the universal blades as blades that anybody can use. Hell, even if you didn't want to give balance 2 blades, give balance the dragon blade, and keep the balance blade as a universal blade, and the blade storm as universal blade. We just need better blades, y'all. Or just give balance a plus 40 or plus 45 blade that's balance specific, and just keep the blade storm and the plus 25 balance blade where they're at. Kingisle, balance needs better blades. I mean, it's plain and simple. Boom. Okay, that's out the way. And then we're talking about balance damage. Why are y'all playing balance? Like, come on now. Just make it do 520. Make Power Nova do 520. If Dragon can do 600 flat damage, and then that's overtime as well, 375 overtime, that thing is literally doing like 1,100 damage when you enchant it. And plus your natural damage, plus blades and shit like that. That shit's doing a fucking lot for a 7 pip spell. I understand it's fire and all, but at this point, Power Nova and Ra looking about equal in power. If you're gonna upgrade Forest Lord, and it's a 7 pip spell, why is an 8 pip spell doing less than Forest Lord? If that's the case, give Ra more utilities then. Give Ra like 2-3 utilities. You did with Sirens, but you took that away. But if that's the case, give Ra more utilities then to help boost it. Like it may do this much damage, but it gives you plus 40 balance blade before you attack, and it also gives you a plus 30 critical or a plus 30 balance damage aura. Why not fucking do that? Or just upgrade, give Power Nova, make it 550, and then give Ra anywhere from 600 to 670 damage. Like, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Come on now. Not even, I mean, no. If they're giving Forest Lord 800 damage, you can give Ra the same amount as Forest Lord. Or instead of giving Ra the same damage, it's a fucking 8-pip spell. Why not just give it from 800 damage, 850 damage to 950 damage? Ra should be stronger than Forest Lord. Not even 8. Give Ra 870 to 940 damage. Or 870 to 950 damage. That makes the most sense. Instead of just making it 800 like Forest Lord. Forest Lord is no longer an 8-pip spell, baby. It's a 7-pip spell. So let's be real here. Why? Why are you playing balance on their damage? And on top of the fact that, yes, we have Hydra, we have Nested Fury, and we have Spectral Blast. That's cute. Real cute. But we need Spirit Blast, Spiritual Fury. No, something. And I understand balance supposed to nitpick from each school. Just like the book says over here.
The art of balance in magic is harmony, finding equality in all things. It draws on elements from each of the other schools, incorporating bits and pieces of those other energies to achieve greater power.
Boom. Okay, if that's the case, then why not do that? Why are y'all acting like balance is doing that? You're shoving the elemental schools and spirit schools into one fucking card. Why not just have it to where you have a balance spell that does just myth damage, and it gives you a plus 30 balance blade, and it gives you, well, yeah, it can give you a plus 30 balance blade, or it can give like 2 weaknesses or a stun. Stop playing balance. If balance nitpicks from each school, then let it nitpick from each school. You got fire. Fire is power. Make one spell do a shit ton of damage, just flat damage, without any repercussions, without any utilities. And you can also give balance a few overtime spells. Why not do that? Make balance nitpick. Like I said in my recent video, balance is about power, aggression. Why not give that blunt force? Why not give balance the next spell, make it to where it does a shit ton of fucking damage with no utilities, and then the next spell after that, the rank 10. But if you're going to shadow pip route, 7 pips. Shadow pips, the 6-pip shadow pip spells are doing a fucking shit ton. So why not make it to where you give the next rank 11 spell, let's say that, for balance without the shadow pip. It could be, no, the next shadow pip spell for balance, it can do like basically 1,600 flat damage, and when you enchant it, it does a fucking shit ton on top of your blaze and shit, and it's flat damage. And then the next spell can be strictly a utility spell. Boom, that takes from myth. Myth is about minions and utilities. You can get really creative with myth and balance. So why not do that, or have the next spell be an ultra healing spell, life. Boom, you can take from life, or like or balance have their own version of rebirth, or it can be like a spell where it's, like I said, strictly utility, where it could buff balance, all balance spells and damage to 50%. Not even just spells and damage. Well, yeah, spells and damage they take from fire, but it can also buff all positive attributes like your health. Every time you get hit, you heal over time. Well, not every time you get hit, but if you get hit, it puts an overtime thing around you that heals you for 200 health. and it can last for 3 rounds. Or, well, not 200 health. Over time, that can heal you for 400 health each time. Not each time you get hit, but if you get hit, it puts an over time effect on you to where it heals you for 3 rounds for 400 health. And that can be strictly like utility based. It can be overpowered because balance would be the most balanced unbalanced school. So they have a spell that does a fucking 2000 damage, basically flat damage. And then they have a spell where, okay, it doesn't do damage, but it's just a fucking awesome buff. Like, you can create something that's called, I found this online a long time ago. I was in middle school, but it was an attack spell, but you can make this a utility spell. It can be called Hour of Power, where balance, it boosts balance, all their positive attributes, all positive buffs. It boosts their health a little bit, or you don't have to do that, but it boosts their health, it boosts their damage, it boosts their spells, it boosts their defense, critical block, power pips, shadow pips, all that shit for like 3 rounds. No, for 1 round. Hour of Power. And they have another utility spell. This can be balance specific. It could be called Balancing Act or Time to Balance. And it could be plus 50 to all balance spells. Just like I just mentioned, all balance spells, defense, health, spell card damage, all that shit. And it can be plus 50%, but it can be balance specific to where it only applies to the balanced person that's using it. And yes, I'm taking PvP into consideration. With the route I'm going, they will have to implement new systems. I don't know if Kingisle is willing to do that or not, but for that to work, they're gonna have to implement new systems to where it's not broken and busted, to where you can also use it in PvE, but also PvP. But if they want to use it, but they can also just not make that spell I just told, Hour of Power, make it to where they can just use for PvE, and make the other version used for PvP, the lower version used for PvE. I mean PvP as well as PvE. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the situation, they have to implement new systems. What I'm talking about, they're going to have to implement new systems, regardless if they like it or not. If they, in my opinion, no shade, but if they want their games to thrive, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but damn, you gotta give me credit where credit is due. These systems will help revamp the game, refresh the game, and bring new players in, and a whole new experience for veterans and new players, and the people that are in between. And also that Time of Balance spell, and also the Time of Balance spell and the Hour of Power spell can boost the balance minions as well, which also makes them a whole lot more valuable. Whereas Hour of Power can be applied to balance and everybody around them. But balance would get a plus 100%, while the other schools get a plus 60% in all those attributes. Just to keep it fair. So, or the other schools can get plus 50% and balance can get plus, balance can get plus 100 while the other schools get plus 50. Why not just do that? It wouldn't be that hard to get balance, to make balance better. Give them more damage. You can give them a little more health. You can actually make them nitpick from each school. As I was saying, balance can take from ice by defensive spells, or defensive spells. Like it can have, balance can have something called like balance shield, and it's plus 60, minus 60 to all schools. Balance can take from storm. Storm is a thing of chance, a game of chance. It can be like also take from death, to where like you may sacrifice some health. I guess power to sacrifice some health to deal double damage. It can take from death to where like it can siphon health, to where, I keep saying that, I'm so sorry. It takes from storm to where it's a double chance of hitting twice. It takes from myth by having more creative utility spells. Even better minions. Balance and myth should have really good minions. Myth obviously should have the best minions. Balance should be the next contender though. But it takes from life from better healing spells. It can take from death, from siphoning health. You know, shit like faint. And so on and so forth. And balance, because the balance of all schools, balance should have I'll say this for another video. Because I feel like each school should have their own astral spells that's actually useful. But I got ideas, so I'm saving that for another video. But as far as balance, yeah, like I said, let balance actually take from each school. Give balance better spell, more health, more damage. Make it balancedly unbalanced. Make it actually fair. You can get creative with the utilities, the minions, and the spells. Come on, guys. Come on, KI. Let's be real here. I think that's it. I made this video about 3 times already. Shut up. Now I'm really tired and exhausted. But please, just listen to me. I mean, just take some advice. Like, take what I'm saying into consideration at least. And buff balance. Like, make them overall just better. Balance should be the most balanced unbalanced. I keep saying that. Balance should literally nitpick from each school. One spell should be overpowered as fuck, like a storm spell or a fire spell. One power should just be defensive as fuck, like Abominable Weaver. Well, one spell should be like very utility based. One power should be healing based. I should siphon health over time. Have overtime spell. Like I said, a -60 balance shield. Something. Or it can be a -40 balance shield, but it casts 2 -40 balance shields around you. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Just please. Please. Do something.